Hello and welcome back to Loquitur Gaming. I'm continuing on with my playthrough of Arkham Horror the card game, and I'm currently going through the Dunwich Legacy cycle, and I'm on the Essex County Express scenario. So I think we'll just go right in and read where we are with the story, the flavor text. Recent events in the museum have forced you to reevaluate Armitage's tale about Dunwich. It cannot be a coincidence. Wilbur Whatley, the Necronomicon, the creature from Dunwich, and the people and creatures who attacked here in Arkham. Everything must be connected. You're certain now that where you must head, the lonely and dismal town of Dunwich Village. You consider telling the Massachusetts State Police what you know, but the negative consequences outweigh the potential gain. Given the nature of your story, they would likely write your stories off as an absurd hoax. Worse, they could lock you up. After all, you were present in an illegal speakeasy, and you also trespassed in the museum. Instead, you decide to head to Dunwich yourself in order to investigate further. You pack everything you think you might need and manage to get some rest for the night. In the morning, you head to the train station in Northside and purchase a last-minute express ticket. Dunwich is several hours by train northwest along the Miskatonic River Valley. There's no train station in Dunwich, but you manage to phone one of Armitage's acquaintances in the small village, a man by the name of Zebulon Whatley, who was present during the event several months ago. Armitage's notes indicate that the Whatley family is spread across many branches, some decadent and unscrupulous, others undecayed and otherwise untouched by nefarious and diabolic rites. According to Armitage, Zebulon's branch of the family lay somewhere between the decayed and undecayed Whatleys, who knew of the traditions of his ancestors, but was not corrupted by them. Oh, excuse me. That was coming on for a couple paragraphs. He agrees to pick you up at the closest station and drive you into town. As the train departs from Arkham, you feel the events of the previous night catching up to you, and exhaustion sets in. But before you can safely reach your destination, the train car suddenly rumbles and shakes, startling you out of your reverie. The train loudly skids to a violent halt, and you hear a rattling noise behind you. Well, that can't be good. So we have to gather all the encounter sets. I got the encounter sets all gathered. And then we've got to put one of the engine cars into play and remove the other two versions of the engine car. So I've got the 3 engine cars. Shuffle those around a little bit. Yeah, we'll take the one in the back. And how are we gonna make this? We'll have enemies fight us here. Gauges here. We'll make it work. So 2 engine cars out, and then 6 of the 8 train car locations. I guess we don't need a whole lot of room in between them. We can just have enemies, and like we can move along the bottom and we'll have enemies and stuff at the top. All right, we need 6 of these. So let's pull out that one and that one. And then we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And we can move the draw deck over to there. Engage, engage. We've got all kinds of room in the middle here. We can also have enemies who are engaged with us, like down to the side of them, because we're going to have tons of room. All right, there we go. Remove the remaining true train cars from play. I already did that. Reveal the leftmost train car. So they have like a little diagram down here too, like obviously this is left and right, but if you were playing on the other side of the table, like sitting over there, it makes it so that you know that towards the engine is to the right, because there might be some card effects that reference to the left and to the right. Okay. The train car is connected to the locations to the left and right of it. You cannot enter train car unless all the clues on the location to its left have been discovered. So we have to discover all the clues moving down the train, I guess. Okay, so we've got passenger car. We don't want that thing focusing like that all day. Passenger car is connected to locations to its left and right of it. Force. After you enter passenger car, you must either discard cards from your hand with at least 2 total book icons or take 2 horror. Now, I do believe there are instructions on here that say if that location has a forced effect that triggers upon entering that location, ignore it. Each investigator begins play at that location. I'll go up here just in case we draw any bad guys. We need 2 clues per. At a shroud of 3, I don't like that. Because we got to get all of those before we can move here. Set all 4 copies of Across Time and Space aside. And based on your difficulty level, add the following chaos tokens to the chaos bag. So on standard, we add a -3 into the bag. And let's shake it up a little bit. Okay. Shuffle the remainder of the encounter cards. During the scenario, locations are lined up from left to right with the unicorn on the right. Yep, so we already talked about all that. I think we're done with this little sheet of paper until we get a resolution. So let's talk a little bit about, so we got the Necronomicon for Rex last time. It's an extra book and he can do an action to gain 2 resources. Hasn't really been resource starved, he's kind of card starved. And I bought with experience another upgraded deduction. It has like green screen on it. So Rex still has his charisma. Still really going, just trying to get cards that are just straight down the investigator fighter path for the 2 characters. So I'll shuffle this a little bit just to get those 2 cards I showed you mixed in there. The rest of it should be pretty mixed from shuffling from before we started. And I have been definitely making sure after that second scenario, I think it was, to pile shuffle the encounter deck a couple of times before I even start filming. Right when I put it together, the first thing I do is, before I even lay anything else out, is pile shuffle the cards together. But I do like to do it once on camera just to show everything has been randomized. All right, so Zoe, we've got an upgraded Vicious Blow. So it can do +2 damage if she succeeds by 2 or more. And then I got an extra ammo. I am at a loss for what I turned in for that, actually. I can't remember. Obviously the Vicious Blow upgraded a weaker Vicious Blow that was in her deck. Alrighty. So this is interesting. I really like how they've, so far the scenarios are all pretty different and they're kind of interesting. The casino really felt like a casino. There were some gambling type things, like, you know, you gotta, whatever, depending upon what you pull out of the chaos bag, you either can win big or nothing happens or you lose big. Now we've got this train car that's laid out in a line like this. All right. The agenda says, a tear in reality. As the train to Dunwich comes to a jarring stop, you look out the window behind you and see an immense tear in the sky, like a rip in a piece of cloth. Several of the rearmost train cars are pulled backwards, and there is a dreadful metallic crunch as they are detached. The train cars topple upwards and into the rift in the sky. Nearby passengers are panicking, others are cowering in their seats, and one elderly man has fainted in fear. Well, you can really see the texture on the card. See the train car going up there. There's actually a car and a tree flying up into it. That was a weird texture looking on the camera. All right. Act 1A. Run, it says. The train has stopped on a bridge high above the Miskatonic River. You might be able to survive the fall, but you don't like your chances. Your best bet is to make your way to the engine car as fast as you can and get the train running again. Objective. If an investigator enters the engine car, immediately advance. All right, so we're going to need to be grabbing clues fairly quickly. Let's get our hands, I guess, right? 1, 2, 3. Come on, 4, 5. Magnifying glass is good. Perception is good for us to use for our ability. Inquiring mind is actually good for that too. Laboratory assistant gets us more cards. Shortcuts. Use investigator at your location. Move that investigator to a connecting location. Not the best because we need to get clues off of here before. I mean, it is a free move because it's fast. I'm not too upset with these 4, I don't think. Yeah, I think I'll just mulligan shortcut. Another laboratory assistant. Which oddly enough, it's not a unique card. And because I have charisma, I can have 2 allies in play. So that gets me some health and horror protection and more card draw. That's interesting. Okay, we got to shuffle shortcut back in. Rex is highly charismatic and highly educated at this point. Which is, it's funny because like, he didn't start the game with charisma or higher education, but in between some of the scenarios, things have happened. And Rex now has a lot of charisma and even more education. All right, Zoe, no weaknesses. 45 is good. Flashlight is good. Brother Xavier is expensive. Overpower. We might not need that. This is a lot of resources, so maybe Brother Xavier goes back in. He's expensive. I really need him like later in the game when I've got like a bunch of resources built up. Do I want to keep dodge? He does add an extra willpower, which is good and helpful. It's kind of one of the reasons I took the card because... But now I almost wish I had just taken another beat cop, to be honest with you. I'll mulligan those 2. Another flashlight and another dodge. That's not amazing. Well, maybe another flashlight after it gets used up, because it looks like we're in desperate need of some investigation actions. We do have Keen Eye to make our book go up too. Maybe it's okay. All right. Rex might get all these anyway, so maybe she can move. One. Yes, maybe lab assistants come out later, because I want to run for sure. We've only got 4 rounds until that thing advances, or 4 Doom tokens, because other cards can make Doom tokens come out. Okay, so we'll have Rex go first. Is Rex our lead investigator? Boy, I can't remember. I should mark on here. He is now. Oh, let's take a look at this real quick. So for easy standard, a skull is -X, where X is the current agenda number. Hooded figure, cultist person is -1. If you fail and it's your turn, lose all remaining actions and end your turn immediately. Broken tablet is -2. Add 1 Doom token to the nearest cultist enemy. And Cthulhu looking thing -3. If you fail, choose and discard a card from your hand. Okay, so we're going to spend 1 to bring out a magnifying glass. Let's move charisma and higher education down a little bit. Now, action 2 will be to investigate. So it's a 3. I'm a 4. 5 with magnifying glass. Oh, action. The magnifying glass is not an action. It's fast. So I've got 3 actions left. Just in case I fail once. We'll put perception in. So we're at 4, 5, 6, 7 to 3, up by 4. I need to succeed by more than 2 to have my ability trigger. So what did I say? I'm up by 4. Hey, Elder Sign. You may choose automatically fail this skill test to draw 3 cards. No. Okay. Haven't seen an Elder Sign in a while. I'm gonna mix it around in there. So I succeeded by more than 2. So the first action gets me those clues. Now, if it's successful, I get to draw a card. Professor Warren Rice. He gets me another book. After you discover the last remaining clue in your location, exhaust Professor Warren Rice to draw a card. So, my second action then, I am going to put down Professor Warren Rice. So he's going to give me an extra book. So, my last and third action then, I don't have more than 5 cards, so I don't have 5 or more cards, so I can't use higher education. So it's 4, 5, 6 to 3. I'm up by 3. I think I'll throw one of the lab assistants at it to be up by 4. To beat it by more than 2, I really want to be up by 5 though. Okay, but I'm up by 4. Hey, +1. So we've got both of these, and Rex's turn is over. Now we'll go to Zoe's turn. I think just in case enemies come out, I'm going to get a resource, so I'll go from 5 to 6. Then I'm going to spend all 6 in 2 separate actions. So first action was resource, and then action 2 and 3 are to play a flashlight and a 45. Let's move Keen Eye over here. We know we've got that. Let's do a little bit of setup. 4 ammo on the gun. 3 uses on the flashlight. Okay, that's it. No enemies. Reset. Oh, I forgot to do this draw card. So after you discover the last remaining clue in your location, exhaust Professor Warren Rice to draw a card. I'm not going to exhaust him because now he's just going to reset. But so the card I draw is, oh, Dr. Milan Christopher. I don't have the resources to play you yet. Can you have more than one charisma? It's not a unique card. It doesn't say only one per... That might be an interesting upgrade path. Just a bunch of allies? Okay, so now we're actually doing the investigators drawing cards and getting resources. So, mind over matter, in case the bad guy comes out. Resource. And card. Physical training. And a resource, which we might have to use for dodge at some point. All right, top of the round. Doom cards. Rex is first. Ancient Evils. Placed one Doom on the current agenda. This effect can cause the agenda to advance. It's funny how I was talking about cards that can place Doom, and the first card on top was one of those cards. Zoe's card is Claws of Steam. Revelation, test 3 willpower. If you fail, take 2 damage and you cannot move from this location this round. Damage from this effect must be assigned to your assets first, if able. So you would have to damage allies first, which is kind of interesting. So... it's 3 to 4. I want to go up by 2. There's a lot of -3 in that chaos bag. So unfortunately, physical training, I think they're going to be spent to make me a 5. So 5 to 3. Hey, Elder Sign. If this skill test is acceptable during an attack, no. Man, there's a lot of goodness that's been coming out of the bag so far. That makes me leery of what's going to happen later on as the randomization gods balance things out. All right, so let's go to our turn. We'll move Rex to the train car next to us for 1 action. Parlor car. Parlor car is connected to the locations to the left and right of it. The parlor car cannot be investigated. Spend 3 resources to discover 1 clue in the parlor car. Well, isn't that marvelous? Spend 3 resources. Where's an emergency cache when you need one? Where are the clue tokens when you can't pick them up? Okay. So that was 1. I mean, I guess we get a resource for 2 and then spend the resource. Spend all 3 resources for the last action. Zoe's just going to have to move for 1. And resource. Yes, an emergency cache would have been pretty clutch right there. But okay, so there's no enemies, so we just go to resetting and drawing and getting resources. Okay, we got guts, which is good for willpower tests. Over there. Oh, we need a resource. And emergency cash shows up. I guess that's good because now she's going to have other resources she can spend. We really need that on him. Okay, so that's us done. Doom, 3 already. Bad cards. Ancient Evils, place a doom, and it can cause it to advance. How about them apples? So just to know, I'm going to put this over here so I don't forget because we've got to do some advancing of stuff. Okay, the rearmost car of the train detaches as it is pulled backwards. To your horror, it rises off the tracks and is consumed by the gate above you. Remove the leftmost location from the game, or place it at the victory display if it has victory X and no clues on it. Each investigator at that location is defeated. Each enemy and asset at that location is discarded. Discard all clues controlled by the investigators. Okay, so this train car is gone. Discard all clues. Controlled by the investigators. Okay, Agenda 2A. The maw widens. The terror grows larger, and you can feel the rearmost car of the train shaking as it's pulled backwards. The situation threatens to erupt into chaos as more passengers realize the danger they are in. Some passengers are looking for places to hide, while others are running about the compartments in terror. 3 doom this time. Okay, now Zoe's bad card is an acolyte. Spawn any empty location. Forced after acolyte enters play, place 1 doom on it. So I want it here because I want to get rid of this guy as soon as possible because he's gonna have a doom on him. Which I guess is good now that so we can spin an action move and then she can fight him. Right? Yes, good. Okay, so it's our turn. I don't even think I'm going to spend the time to emergency cash right now. She's going to spend 3 resources to do the action to get rid of the clue for 1. Second action will be to move to the train car, which brings the acolyte to her. That's her second action. Her third action is going to be to fight. So he's a 3, she's a 4. We don't really need the damage from our gun, but I don't want to do this fight at just +1. And I don't have enough resources to get the bonus from Keen Eye. So Keen Eye is actually interesting. Like higher education is 1 resource, but you get it for 1 skill test. Keen Eye, you get it for, you spend 2 resources and get it for the entire phase. And actually I need to reveal this train car too, don't I? Dining car is connected to the locations to the left and right of it. Forced, after reveal dining car, search the encounter deck and discard pile for a grappling horror and draw it. There's not one in the discard pile. There's no clues there at least, so Rex can move on. Emergent monstrosity, acolyte, acolyte. Grappling horror. It's a hunter. While you're engaged with grappling horror, you cannot move. It's a 3, 3, 2. So that's going to become engaged with Zoe. We've got a dodge, so we can at least dodge one attack from it. And then maybe we try to run. Next turn. I want to get rid of this Acolyte because this current agenda can only get 3. Three Doom. We've already got 1 because of the Acolyte. And if we draw another card, that makes us place more Doom that can advance the agenda. This could be a very quick stage. So yeah, let's use the gun. Man, I don't have anything else to buff the fight. No. I don't. So we get a +1, so we're at 5 to 3, up by 2. What is going on here? If this skill test is successful during an attack, the attack deals +1 damage. Oh man, if I would have fought the Grappling Horror, that would have killed it. +1 from this, +1 from that. But I accomplished getting rid of the Doom. So that's just fine. She's done. Rexy Boy's turn. Move, move. For 2 actions. Passenger car. After you enter passenger car, you must either discard cards from your hand with at least 2 agility icons or take 2 damage. Shroud of 1 with 6 clues. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wild should count, right? We're just going to dump Inquiring Mind. I mean, they're wild. They're supposed to be anything. Or is that only during a skill test? I don't know. That's how I'm going to play it. Let me know in the comments down below if that's wrong. So, next action, or last action, I guess, will be to investigate. I'm at 4, 5, 6 to 1. I'm up by 5. I don't think I need to spend anything. Yeah. So because of my ability, I get 2 clues, and I can exhaust Professor Warren Rice to draw a card. It's the Necronomicon. Even more investigating power. 5. Okay, so that was 3. Go to bad guys. Already engaged. So he's going to attack. I'm going to spin this resource to play a dodge to cancel that attack. So Zoe does not get attacked by the Grappling Horror. So that's the bad guy turn. Now we go to resetting. Flip, flip, ready, or unexhaust, or whatever. Draw. Okay, we got a deduction, which can really help us get a bunch of clues if we pump up our test. And Zoe, machete. Her hands are full though. And she doesn't even have anywhere close to 3 resources. So she has an emergency cache though. But she's got a dude in her face, which she's going to need to take care of. Said dude. All right, so that's reset. We go to the top of the round. Doom. Bad cards. Rex's card is an Acolyte. Spawn at an empty location. I wonder. No, they're so easy to kill though. I don't think I have enough moves. Well, Rex has a mind over matter. So at the top of the next turn, because it's a 3, the agenda is going to advance. Because this guy's going to come out with a Doom on him. I'm just trying to decide where to put him. If I put him here, am I going to be able to get to him? It's going to take 2 actions for Zoe to take care of this Grappling Horror. And then if she's only got 1 action to move, she can only get here. So she can't get here to fight him. Not enough actions. Rex is probably going to take two actions. Not probably. It is going to take 2 actions to clear that off. 1 to move. And even if he was successful at fighting with his mind over matter, he can't defeat it. So we could evade the horror. But that's cutting it close. 2 to 2. I'd have to commit a dodge, which I kind of want to keep. So let's just go knowing that this is going to trigger next turn. I'm going to put the Acolyte back here. It's an empty location. And I'm hoping that the backside of this one will also just get rid of him when that car gets sucked up into the maw. I don't like that the agenda is advancing so fast because we do have the skulls are -X, where X is the current agenda. But I think that's what we got to do. So, Grappling Horror. Zoe's going to go first. She's going to fight the Grappling Horror. 5 to 3, so she's up by 2. Do I spin the machete or do I keep it for when my ammo runs out? I think I keep it for when my ammo runs out. I do have extra ammo in the deck. Man, do I try to evade it once, actually? I should have more resources. I was engaged by an Acolyte and the Grappling Horror. I should have 3 resources. Because of her ability, when she gets engaged by an enemy, she gets a thing. Now we're just going to fight. So it's 5 to 3 up by 2. Ooh. Okay, good. That's still just -2. I was just talking about you, skull token. Okay, that's 2 damage because of the gun. Good thing I didn't try to evade. That would have gone poorly. Now, Do I do a test up by 1 where -1 is only like half the bag is successful? I don't think so. So I'm going to use another ammo, up by 2. I fail by 1. It's a -3. Shoot. I don't want to take the attack of opportunity, so I guess I just shoot it again. I don't like emptying my 45 on this thing. It's not even worth a victory point. Somebody had to fight this thing during this scenario, though. I guess only if you... This train car, I guess, could have been one of the ones that was out of the game. So what am I up? 5 to 3 is I'm up by 2. Okay, -1. She's done. Now Rex's turn. I'm going to spend both of my resources to bring the Necronomicon out. Then, second action is to investigate, so 4, 5, 6, 7. Player upgraded deduction, so it's 9 to 1. Actually, 7 to 1. I have to do it twice anyway. This should be sufficient. I'm not spending my deduction. I'm up by 6. There's no way I can get 4 clues in 1 turn. The deduction would give me 3, so I have to do it twice. Yeah, okay. So what did I say? I'm up by 6. Hey. I do not want to automatically fail. Wow, is that 3 or 4 times that's come out? That's kind of scary. And our last action is to do the exact same thing again. Up by 6. -1, so we still beat it by more than 2. Rex is a clue gathering machine. Okay, so we're done. Acolyte's not a hunter. No enemies to attack us, so we just go to resetting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Another Dr. Milan Christopher. Apparently the good doctor wants to come and play. Oh, I should have done this. But I'm actually okay. I don't have to do this. I'm starting to get down to the point where I don't want to be drawing a whole lot. Because my bad stuff is in there. A lot of good cards to lose if I draw that stupid amnesia card. Vicious Blow. I could have used you when I was fighting that Grappling Horror. These cards have a very interesting knack for showing up right after I needed them the most. So, I'm done. Doom goes on. That's a total of 3 out on the board. We clear all Doom from the board and advance the agenda. The next train car is ripped backwards with violent force. A middle-aged man hangs from his fingertips as the car flies unhindered toward the rift. It's the Acolyte. I lost my place being stupid with the cards. In moments, the car is consumed whole, and the man lets go rather than be pulled into the void. He starts to fall, but is caught by the rift's force and pulled inside it anyway. Remove the leftmost location from the game, or place in the victory display if it has victory X and no clues on it. Each investigator at that location is defeated. Each enemy is set aside. Each enemy and asset at that location is discarded. Discard all clues controlled by the investigators. Okay, so Acolyte gets discarded. This goes into the victory display because it has a victory 1 and I got the clues on it. We got to get rid of all the clues we control. So this is definitely a race against, well, that was, I guess every scenario is a race against the doom, isn't it? Actually, but literally, like, we could get defeated if we can't advance quick enough. The pull of the rift in the sky seems to grow stronger, and the entire train begins to roll backwards along the tracks. The rearmost cars of the train begin to rattle, the force of the rift threatening to detach them. You must get out of these cars as fast as you can. So for doom. Now, and bad cards. Rex's bad card is Terror from Beyond. Choose one of the following card types. Asset, event, or skill. Each player must discard each card in his or her hand that is of the chosen card type. I really want to keep that deduction in case I need to get a bunch of clues off of this location quickly. So I'm not going to say skill. I guess event. And I'm supposed to do this without knowledge of what's in the other character's hand. Oh, that's kind of a bummer. It's emergency cash and dodge. Right? It's all cards, not just one. Each player must discard each card in his or her hand that of that type. Yes. Zoe's bad card is Broken Rails. That's a hazard. Revelation. Each investigator at your location loses 1 action. Each investigator at your location with 4 or more damage must also discard an asset he or she controls. We've only got... I don't think that this counts as damage. I think it's just less health. I marked this. This is a physical trauma. But I don't have more than 4 anyway. So Zoe's down in action, which is a bummer, but potentially not the end of the world. Let's stretch our train out a little bit more now that some cars are disappearing. All right, so those are our bad cards for each person. So Zoe's only got 2 actions. She'll move. We'll see what we get. Passenger cars connected to locations forced. After you must either discard cards in your hand with at least 2 total will icons or take 2 horror. And that's not going to be possible for her. So oh, wait, she actually entered this one too on her way, right? So she has to draw. She also has to take 2 damage. That's a bummer. 4 clues. I think I might have screwed that up earlier. No, wait, that was the first car that right, one of them was forced. Yeah, I think I screwed that up earlier somewhere on one of these passenger cars. Oh well, I can't take it back now. I can't remember. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh no, this was the one. I didn't screw it up, yeah. So because we started on that card, that's right. We didn't have to take the effect of the forced action. Okay, so no major asterisks so far. so far. Zoe's done because she was down in action from her bad card. So Rex is going to move for 1. He'll dump Guts, so he doesn't have to take the horror, or does he take the horror? No, I want to keep Guts in case I get a bad card. I'll just put 2 horror on Professor Warren Rice. Okay, so that's 1 action to move. Second action is to investigate. We will throw, it's a shroud of 2, and I'm at 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm up by 5. There's a lot of -3s. This is the same situation where deduction, I don't really need to use deduction. I know what I'll do. I'll throw one of my Milan Christophers out. I don't need both of them. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So now I'm up by 4. There's a lot of -3s in there now that the agenda is a 3. I'll take Christopher back. I'll use my deduction. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 to 2. I'm up by 7. Wait, did I totally miscount? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to 2, up by 6. No, I don't need to do that. What am I talking about? I can't count. Dr. Christopher. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to 2. I'm up by 6. Even with a -3, I don't get to put that back in my hand. Sorry, discard. Even a -3, I still complete it by 3, which triggers my ability. And hey, there's a -3. But we still succeed by 3. And we'll go again. I really don't need to add it. Laboratory assistant, are you ever going to be played? There's 1 -4, I believe, and 1 tentacle. So 4, 5, 6, 7 to 2. I'm up by 5. -3 is still good to complete it by 2, and I draw a tentacle. Shouldn't even have mentioned it. Why did I even bring it up? All right, that's us. No enemies to hunt, so we just reset and draw. Again, did I just not say like last time I didn't want to draw another card because of amnesia? Oh no. What do I keep? I guess deduction, because in case I want or ever need to pull a bunch of cards or a bunch of clues off. Man, I should just stop talking about things that are going to be bad for me. If I mention good things, what does Zoe want? Zoe wants extra ammunition. Hey, what if an extra ammunition's on the top of the deck? No. It's her internal injury. Force, at the end of your turn, take 1 direct damage. It takes 2 actions to discard internal injury. Is this the first time her basic weaknesses come out? Could be. Could be. Well, that was a crappy draw phase for our heroes. Resource. And yeah, top of the round. Doom. Bad card is Claws of Steam. Right when I was thinking about keeping Guts, in case I needed willpower, it's 3 to 3. So this is the one that Oh, Professor Rice is going to get killed. So it's 2 damage, and I cannot move if I don't pass this. So it's even money, 3 to 3. I do not have more than 5 cards, so I can't use higher education. And that's a -1. If you fail, it's your turn. Lose all remaining actions. It's not my turn, though. Okay, so 2 damage has to be assigned to my assets first. Professor Warren Rice is knocked out. Okay, Zoe's bad card. Oh, I can't play. It's Dissonant Voices. I cannot play assets or events, which is fine because I'm just going to get rid of my basic weakness, internal injury, this turn anyway. Okay, so it is my turn. Wait, with Chaos of Steam, I cannot move from this location this round. Or not Chaos of Steam, Claws of Steam. Rex can't move. But he can investigate so that Zoe could move. So, 4, 5, 6 to 2 is up by 4. -3 is only succeeding by 1, so we only get 1 clue. My next action is going to be to do that again, so 4, 5, 6, I'm up by 4. -1. So I've gotten all the clues. The professor is gone. My last action, I'm just going to use the Necronomicon to get 2 resources. So I'll go from 2 to 4. Where do I want to draw a card? Amnesia's already out. I think I draw instead, because I can't move. Ooh, Ward of Protection. It's good. It's a good card to have. In case stupid things like Claws of Steam come out. So Rex is done. Now Zoe can move for 1 action. Let's see what we got here. Shroud of 4. Sleeping cars can't do location for 1 action. Gain 3 resources. Remember that you have stolen a passenger's luggage. Group limit once per game. Only 1 clue, which is nice. And she has a flashlight. I've got 2 actions left. Man, do I just take a damage from this, or do I get rid of it and investigate next turn? It's a Shroud of 4. It becomes a 2. I have a 2. I'd only be up by 1. I'll just leave it for Rex to come and investigate. So I'll spend our other 2 actions to get rid of internal injuries. Okay, done. No enemies to hunt and fight. Dissonant Voices is gone. Card. Old Book of Lore. We can use this to search out a card. So this one says, exhaust Old Book of Lore. Choose investigator your location. That investigator searches the top 3 cards of his or her deck for a card, draws it, and shuffles the remaining cards into his or her deck. So I could use that to search something out, but both of my hand slots are full with Magnifying Glass and Necronomicon. Let's take a resource. And Zoe's card. It's another machete. We will go from 5 to 6. All right, that's our card draw. Top of the round. Doom, bad cards. Rex is first. Arcane Barrier. So Arcane Barrier attaches to the location. As an additional cost to move in or out of it, you have to test willpower 4, and if you fail, you either have to not move or discard the top 5 cards of your deck. So that one kind of plays with, there's another one, Beyond the Veil, that's in this same set. I think it's in this same set, isn't it? Same encounter set. Where if your deck runs out, you take 10 damage. And that's just going to kill anybody, almost. Anybody. Unless you had like 2 super beefy allies and maybe like an armored vest or something to absorb 5 or 6 of it, you're going to be in trouble if you have Beyond the Veil and your deck runs out. All right, anyway, Zoe's bad card is Rotting Remains. Test 3 willpower. For each point you fail by, take a horror. She has nothing to pump her willpower up. So, I guess it's just 3 to 4. -1, we passed. So no horror. Okay, it's our turn. So I have Keen Eye and I've got 6 resources. I'm actually thinking about like spending, like having Zoe clear that and then move over there, and then Rex can move. We'll just take the 5 discards. Or should I have used my Word of Protection on that? No, there's much worse things that can happen. Much worse things that can happen than that. Besides, I might actually discard one of my weaknesses or something. If I have Rex, move, investigate, move, and then Zoe can deal with whatever's in the engine car. Or do I want Rex to deal with what's in the engine car? I have no idea what the engine cars say on the other side. We'll have Zoe deal with it. So she's at a base of 2. I can spin as a fast action. Is that what that little symbol means? Yeah, they do not cost an action to activate. It's like a little lightning bolt. It doesn't really say fast, but it's the little lightning bolt thing. I'm going to spend 4 resources. I get +2 book till the end of the phase. So I'm at 4. That still only makes it +2. That might be a waste. I'm not going to do that. Rex is going to go first. He's going to move. So he has to test before he can finish this move against a willpower of 4. Do I even care? I don't think so. Oopsie. So I'm down by 1. And that does not have any fail negatives next to it. But I would have lost by 4. And I'm not going to cancel the effects. I got to discard the top 5 cards in my hand. 1, 2, or deck, not hand. 3, 4, 5. Oh man, elusive shortcut. Yeah, these aren't bad to lose, I guess. I wish there would have been a weakness in there. Rex is bad luck or whatever it's called, Rex's Curse. Okay, so that's one move. Now we're going up against a Shroud of 4. We're 4, 5, 6. 6 to 2. There's only one clue, so I don't really need this to trigger. I don't have 5 or more cards, so I can't use that right now. We'll get 2 shots at this. It might add +2. Man, there's a lot of -3s in here, though. Oh, I shouldn't even say it. Shouldn't even say it. So we're +2. Ah. Okay, last action. Still +2. Could be. I could have been +3 if I would have still had the Professor. Hey, there you go. So that just made it so that Rex can't be the one who moves in to see what's happening over here. Okay, so I'll go to Zoe's turn. Do I want to play something before she moves? Sure, let's bring out a machete and we'll get rid of the 45. For our first action, it's always good to set up, right? You never know what's going to happen in the engine or when you move to a new location. Second action is to move. Oh, and if an investigator enters the engine car, immediately advance. Okay. All right, engine car is connected to location to the left of it. Wow, this is a Shroud of 4. Victory 1, 2 clues per investigator. And we get to advance the act. The investigator entering the engine car reads the following out loud. A tender car filled with coal blocks your way to the engine cab. Swallowing your fear, you climb out of the nearby window and clamber onto the roof of the train, making your way across the tender car. The steady backward motion of the train makes it difficult for you to keep your footing. As you get close, a winged creature swoops down from above, its body composed of piping hot steam. You must decide to either test 3 evasion to attempt to dodge the creature. If you fail, you leap too far and barely grip the side of the train, hanging on for dear life. Although you manage to pull yourself up, the experience is terrifying. You suffer 1 mental trauma. 1 mental trauma? Or I can test combat 3 to attempt to endure the creature's extreme heat. If you fail, the creature flies through you and the heat burns you. Suffer 1 physical trauma. So test 3 combat. So I have 4. I'm going to make it 5. And I'll spend 2 resources with this action window to get +1 combat. To put me at 6. So 6 to 3. Six to 3, yeah, -2. So I succeed, so I don't take the physical trauma. That's a major bummer. Act 2A, you've managed to make it to the engine cab, but now you have to get the engine started again so you can outrun the pulling force of the gate. If there are no clues in the engine car, immediately advance. So you need to get those 4 clues off of there. Okay, I still got my deduction, which is good. So Zoe moved for 1. She's got 2 actions. Oh, she put her machete down for 1. She moved for 2. I mean, I guess we can attempt to investigate. It'll be a long shot, but there's no reason not to, right? This is now probably the end of the scenario. So we'll use our flashlight. -2 Shroud. So we're sitting at a 2. She's at 2. And I'll use the other flashlight to make it 3. So I'm only up by 1. It's a long shot, but it's something. Where do I draw a card? No. No. So I'm up by 1. Hey, look at that. She did it. Ooh, that sets up Rex's deduction for 3 next turn. That's good. Okay, she's done. No enemies to hunt. We reset. We draw. Search for the truth. Hey, this is cool. I don't think I've been able to play this card yet. So it's Rex's special card. Draw X cards where X is the number of clues on Rex Murphy to a maximum of 5. And Rex has 5 clues on him right now. Do I want that, or do I want all these book icons? I don't know. Resource. Zoe's card is an overpower, so she's set up in case we have to do a fight here. Yeah, I just got her resource. So we're set up. We go to the top of the round. So this is now, oops, 3. And Rex's bad card is Arcane Barrier. Zoe's bad card is Helpless Passenger. Surge, Revelation, put Helpless Passenger into play at the location to your left, or your location if you cannot. Parlay, take control of Helpless Passenger. If Helpless Passenger leaves play, each investigator takes 1 horror. So if they were in the car that was going to get sucked up, you might want to try to rescue them. But it has Surge, so Zoe's new... Yeah, it's to the left, Zoe's there, so there, yeah. Zoe's next card is Frozen in Fear. The first time you perform one of the following actions. Each round it costs an additional action. And then at the end of your turn, you test 3 willpower. So if I move, fight, or evade, it costs an extra action. But I think we might be okay. So those are our bad cards. We'll do Rex first. I'm not worried about this Helpless Passenger. Right? Is there going to be something for... I wonder if there's a bonus at the end if I have any Helpless Passengers. 1 action, 2 action to move, 1 other action to investigate. No, I gotta skip the Helpless Passenger. Just in case. I want 2 potential attempts at these clues here. So, sorry Helpless Passenger, but... unless I have Zoe come over and do it. No, it's fine. He's not way down the train. He's right there. Okay, so move. Now I gotta worry about Arcane Barrier. Oh, actually, you know what? Forget it. I keep forgetting I have this card in my hand. Since I think the game's about to be over, I'm gonna say I played Ward of Protection when this came out. I gotta take a horror, and it reveals the revelation effect, so it does not get attached to his location. So I don't have to worry about that. So you know what? I'm gonna have Zoe go first then. Zoe's gonna move for 1 action. Second action, she'll take control of the Helpless Passenger. Third action, move back to the engine car. This one does not have a move in or out type of penalty or anything. So we save the Helpless Passenger. Okay, Rex's first move is to the engine car. Now. Oh, wait. Nope, she's got Frozen in Fear. Okay, whatever. So she has to be here instead. That's right. But at the end of her turn, she can test 3 willpower to see if she can discard it. So she's got 4 to 3. She's up by 1. -1. It's gone. Now Rex's turn. 1 move over there. Gonna get this right. 1 move over there. So we're going to investigate using deduction, our upgraded deduction, so that if we succeed by 2 or more, we get 2 additional clues. Oh man, I've been thinking about this thing completely wrong this whole game. But I'm fine with it because now I still have it in my hand. I actually could have used this card to get 4 clues in one shot on all those places where there were 4 clues. Because I get 1 clue for succeeding. If I succeed by 2 or more, I get 2 additional clues, so that's 3. And then my ability is if I succeed by 2 or more while investigating, I can discover a clue. That's 4 clues in one shot. Something went in my eye. That's good to know moving forward. Okay, so 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to 4. Wow, this isn't guaranteed that I'm going to succeed by 2 or more. Throw in Search for the Truth on here too, for 3 more. Is that what I want to do, or do I want to draw 5 cards? If I draw 5 cards, though, it's highly likely, with the size of my deck, that I'm going to draw Rex's Curse. This should be the end of the scenario, right? So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I'm up by 7. Up by 7. This is -1. If you fail, when it's your turn, lose all your remaining actions. So because of that deduction, I could potentially, and my ability, I could have gotten 4 clues total, but there are only 3 there. And now this says, if there are no clues in the engine car, immediately advance. The engine roars to life and kicks into motion. You shovel coal into the engine's firebox and are relieved to see that the train is moving forward along the tracks once again. Read Resolution 1. Back to our paper. Before resolving any other resolution, if at least 1 investigator was defeated, the defeated investigator reads investigator defeat first. But nobody was defeated, so no one was sucked into the void. Resolution 1. You breathe a sigh of relief as the gate behind the train collapses harmlessly upon itself. The few passengers who survived the ordeal seem unable to comprehend what just happened. One passenger mentions a pipe bursting in the rear car, and that quickly becomes the explanation for the innocent and ignorant, those who either cannot or choose not to delve further into the mystery. You, on the other hand, know better, though in hindsight, you wish you didn't. Each investigator earns experience equal to the victory X value of each card in the victory display. So not a lot of experience in this scenario. We're just going to have 2, one from the parlor car and one from the engine car. Nobody defeated here had victory on it, right? It was just a couple acolytes, and then that Grappling Horror did not have victory on it. So not a lot of experience from that. Any of these other train cars? I don't want to see what they do, but no. All right, so there you have it. So I've got one leftover experience for each of the characters from before. So now we're going to get 2 more. So that's going to be 3 total that I can look at spending. And we go on to, what's next? Blood on the Altar is the next scenario. That was pretty fun. I liked the, it really felt like, hey, you have to move along these to get to the front of the train. And they were getting sucked up at the back. And I can see how these helpless passengers, because they start one location to the left, they could be over there getting taken out. I think it really helped having Rex in this scenario. Having maybe 2 investigators who were just okay at investigating, or required some really good card combos to do some good investigating, could have taken longer to get up the train. But Rex, with his ability, was able to pull a bunch of clues off at once every time he investigated. Okay, there you have it. That's, what is this one called? Something Express. The Essex County Express scenario. So it's the 4th game, but they call it scenario 3 because the first 2 were 1A and 1B, but it's scenario 4. It's the 4th thing you play in the 8 total of the Dunwich Legacy cycle. Okay, hope you're enjoying this playthrough of this Dunwich Legacy cycle of the Arkham Horror card game on the channel, all the other series on the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.